questions are in your program, but we are receiving some additional questions. Let me know, feel free to submit your questions as well. So I'd like to start with Dan, and the first question is, what do you see as the mission of a community college?
Thank you. I believe the mission of any community college is to educate people on how to be constructive and productive members of their community, both through instruction in the classroom and extracurricular engagement with the community that they are in. A community college should be a local, affordable option for graduating high schoolers, non-traditional students such as myself looking to go back to school, or adults looking to change careers or just to get more education on a certain topic. It should be open and inviting to the public and allow community members and students to work together, both on things for their classes and for philanthropy in community in general. And it should be more than just a gateway to other institutions to pursue a higher degree, but an outlet for public service and growth in the community itself.
Thank you. And now we go to Tessa for the question. What do you see as the mission of a community college?
Well, I feel that the mission for a college is to serve its community with providing the best quality in higher education and the values. A lot of students have the ability or have the opportunity to learn about different cultures of the community, especially in DuPage County, Cook County, Will County. We live in a very diverse community, so they have a great opportunity to learn about those diverse cultures. I think every student should have the opportunity to an affordable education, like I mentioned earlier, the opportunity to spend, and an incredible experience to learn from that opportunity as well. Thank you.
And Christine, same question. Okay.
The mission of a community college is to enrich and educate the students and residents who work and live around the college. A community that supports an educational center like College of DuPage is better for it because of the employment opportunities at the college, the employment opportunities and increased revenues for the local businesses who support the college, and the increased job prospects for the students who complete their education at the college and become skilled employees. All of this completes a cycle of success for a better community. The needs of college students and the community are central to all that the College of DuPage does. Thank you.
Now the second question, I'll begin with Tasso, and the question is, in light of the college's negative publicity over the past few years, what system of regular and transparent evaluations of the president and senior management team would be put in place?
Thank you. As a trustee, I will have the opportunity to work with 6 other instrumental board members. I'll have the opportunity to bring new ideas and work as a team with a common goal of improving our community college. The board has prioritized the evaluation process of current policies to ensure that the appropriate, transparent, and accountable procedures are included. I look forward to taking part in providing input in these discussions. I believe the Chicago Tribune also recognized as Dr. Rondeau's contract was also made public. The salary numbers are more transparent, and restricted severance packages are made transparent as well. So, lead on that. Thank you.
Same question of Christine. What would you put in place to ensure the transparent evaluations of the president and senior management team?
The role of the Board of Trustees includes the initial hiring of the president, as well as evaluating the president on an annual basis. There are board policies in place which require the president to evaluate the vice president and other administrators annually and to document those evaluations. And the board can request to review these evaluations as well. In my experience as a manager of a small business for over 10 years, I have hired, trained, motivated, and evaluated countless employees. With evaluations, I have found that they work best with the discussion of a SWOT analysis. That means understanding your strengths and how to implement them, improving weak areas, opportunities for growth, and overcoming threats to your success. It's been 7 months since the new president, Dr. Ann Rondeau, has started at College of DuPage. I look forward to working with her to restore COD's reputation as the premier educational and cultural center in DuPage County. Thank you.
And Dan, same question.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that there's a very simple answer to this question. In addition to the existing board evaluations, I would look forward to working with the taxpayers, the student body, and the COD Faculty Association to discuss what people feel was lacking as far as accountability under Grutter, and work to update the board evaluation process to reflect those changes in order to prevent future misconduct and to make sure that taxpayer money is used in a efficient and transparent way. I think for now, probably the best way for the public to voice concerns about misconduct and to get their own evaluation of the president and the board of trustees is to attend the monthly meetings and participate in the public comment section. Thank you.
Now we're going to turn to the third question, and I'll begin with Christine. Elmhurst is on the eastern edge of DuPage County, and traffic is generally heavy driving to the college. How would you try to engage and gain students from the outlying areas of the district?
College of DuPage, District 502, serves a very large geographical area, including parts of Will and Cook County. I think the college could best serve these outlying areas by partnering with the high schools, the business community, and industry leaders in those areas where the college can meet demand. Through analyzing survey data, we can find out what the students' interests are and what the employers need for skilled workers. This way, the college can impact the community in a positive economic way. Thank you.
Now we're going to go to Tessa.
Well, I also live in the eastern part of DuPage County in Hudson, so this is a common question. And with construction season quickly approaching, it's going to become much more frustrating to be able to schedule times, especially for class in the afternoons for the students. Well, I really truly look at pursuing higher education for individual pursuing higher education in some degree or certification is a good thing. I think that technology could play a larger role for delivering the content or course materials for those students. Students should have an option of either taking a course at a local center near their homes or work, or taking an online course. The technology is available. I think we just need to implement it and make sure that we're using it effectively and efficiently, making it available for those individuals to use.
Same question.
I would like to see perhaps a bus shuttle between the city campus and either the Glen Ellen or Eaton train station. I think that could be very useful for a lot of students that don't own or have access to a vehicle to be able to try public transportation to be able to get to class and campus on time. However, I think that the college probably needs to do some surveys and to follow up on what Chairman Miyazaki and Dr. Rondo have done in the past with public forums to gauge student interest in COD and possible reasons why they would not be attending, so that we can focus more in on those issues specifically in different areas of the district.
Now we're going to start with Tasso, and I'm going to combine one of the questions from the audience along with the fourth question. So the fourth question is, what experience do you have at vetting, understanding a public budget? And then the question from the audience, is there a plan to raise tuition at COD? And if so, why? And would you support it?
That's a really good question. I think there's some similarities to the private sector budget and compared to a public sector budget. However, my experience in both will help as a trustee, as a board of education member, and school board as a board. I'm also serving as a budget committee member. So I have a very good understanding on the need to consider the decision requested to be made, and also the impact of the community and taxpayers. I don't necessarily believe that it's always the best option to quickly look at raising tuition costs, or look at raising taxes, or pushing some referenda to increase or find funding. So I don't truly believe that. I think there are other options out there that we can explore to fund critical initiatives or projects, programs that are required by our students and community. Thank you.
Now we'll go to Dan, and again the question is, what experience do you have understanding vetting a public budget? And is there a plan to raise line, and do you support it?
While I lack experience vetting public budgets, I do have a very vested interest in COD budget and how it is spent. My parents are on the taxpayer end of things, and I am on the student tuition end of things. And I believe that it is important to make sure that we distribute the burden of COD fairly between taxpayers and students. And I also believe that we need to look at how we manage our reserve fund, as I believe that there are some options of getting higher interest rates through some of the money that we have in our reserve, and that could be useful for our budget. As far as raising tuition, I may be a little bit biased, but I would be against raising tuition. But I also believe that it would be not in the college's best interest to raise tuition, because the more expensive tuition becomes, the less students are going to enroll, the less likely they are going to be to enroll in multiple classes. And I believe that if we raise tuition but decrease enrollment, we're going to be hurting ourselves more than the money we'll make up in a tuition rate. So for now, I would be against that in light of pursuing other options.
Christine, any questions?
Thank you. Although this is my first election as president of the Wheaton Public Library Board, I have experience implementing public policy and working with balanced budgets. I have been a member of the library's finance committee for 5 years. And the Wheaton Library is not a taxing body, but we do work with a city-funded budget. As a manager of a small business, I am well aware of the importance of cash flow, and I understand income statements and balance sheets. Budgets need to be developed with the current and projected revenue in mind. COD should not spend money that it does not have. I am committed to providing taxpayers with strong oversight and fiscal responsibility. I want to ensure that the college's capital budget includes replacement funds for building, inventory, and technology, so that when repairs or maintenance is required, that there is money earmarked and available to fix them. For the second part of the question, there is a gap in the future budget. Increasing tuition is one of the options that is being considered by the current board. However, I do not support raising tuition, and I feel that there are other ways that we can look for additional revenue in increasing enrollment, alumni giving, and in other ways. Thank you.
Now we're going to take another question from the audience, and this one was submitted by Susan Warren. What improvements would you like to make to improve communications between the board, the COD faculty, and COD students? And I'll start with this one.
Yes, I believe that improving the communications between all areas of the college, with the administration, the faculty, the student, and the community is a very important one. I have a degree in communications from the University of Iowa, and so I look forward to using these skills to develop a better communication plan. I think that there are many internal ways that we can improve the communication through an internet, through sharing ideas. I think that faculty can share their best practices across different disciplines so that they can improve the academic courses for the students.
Thank you. I think one of the biggest values or one of the biggest challenges is communication as human beings. I think we can actually improve our ability to communicate with one another. It's not just through the everyday life, but we also need to be able to communicate with our community as well. So establishing effective and efficient communication channels with our community and our students and our faculty and our staff and administration is so essential in getting the job done that we're going to have to reevaluate how we're currently doing it and ways of improving it. So there are ways of doing it. We do it in corporate America every day, how we do it with our stakeholders, our customers, our clients, etc. I think it's going to be last year. Thank you.
Again, your thoughts?
I think we have a pretty good starting foundation. I think things like the committee of the whole and the board of trustees does with the students and faculty and the community is great. I would love to see more people attend them. I think we could do more sort of public forums between either the entire board or members of the board and both the faculty and adjunct associations and the student body and open to the public. And I would also like to see both the Board of Trustees and the college as a whole have a little bit more of a social media presence. That's a very easy and effective way to reach younger students and increase their involvement and interest in things going on at the college.
And I think we're going to have time for our final question, and then we'll have a closing statement from each of the candidates. So the first question that was given to them in advance, what is your 5-year vision for the college and with the June?
My 5-year vision would be, first of all, to get a balanced budget. Hopefully not 5 years from now, but sooner than that. Which I think is going to be a challenge due to lack of funding from the state. Makes things a little bit more lopsided towards taxpayers and tuition. But I would like to see ideally a 1/3 split each way, where it's even between the amount of money we take from the state government and the students and the taxpayers. I would also like to see the north end of campus be more connected and included to the rest of COD. There's no physical or really community connection between the buildings, and a lot of students that take classes on the north end feel excluded from a lot of things going on at COD. I would also like to see our enrollment go back up. There are a lot of different ways to do that that I would like to explore, but I definitely think that we need to get back above 30,000 students at COD. And I would like to take a serious look at the adjunct professors at COD. Most of them, in my opinion, are underpaid, and they teach about 60% of our classes that I mentioned earlier, so they take on a great deal of the instruction and the actual work that students at COD, and I think it is important to make sure that they are taken care of so that they can provide the highest quality education possible.
Thank you. Christine, can you share your 5-year vision?
Yeah, thank you. So first and foremost, I would like to restore and maintain the accreditation with the Higher Learning Commission. Currently, COD is on probation with the Higher Learning Commission, and I think that in the future they can exceed this accreditation requirement and make sure that all certification programs are at the highest level. Also, the 19 recommendations from the auditor's report need to be implemented to continue a strong organization. It was determined that there's many policies and procedures that were not documented and some that were just not followed. So I believe that that needs to be corrected. To keep tuition affordable, I think that we should keep tuition and property taxes in line without impairing the quality of education and other services. The college should identify areas of savings, other revenue sources, grow student enrollment, and encourage alumni giving. We need to expand the educational opportunities. I think that the college should develop academic courses in alignment with the current and emerging skill needs of local businesses and employers. And the college should promote faculty and student success stories to the community as examples of greater higher education instruction received at COD. And they should also, I believe the college should increase exposure and partnerships by utilizing existing facilities in District 502 municipalities for the delivery of college programs and services. And we had asked earlier about enhancing communications, and I do think that that's really important. The COD should create effective communications with the student, faculty, and staff and the entire community in District 502. College DuPage should encourage student learning with faculty who collaborate and share best practices across those disciplines. Thank you.
Tasso, your 5-year vision.
Sure. Well, 5 years is a very long time, and a lot of good could be done during that time. I think our focus should be to continue to establish committees that make the appropriate recommendations, keyword there, appropriate recommendations to the board on policies, buildings, and grounds, student tuition costs, community feedback, improving our students and teachers' experiences, and ensuring we continue to maintain our college accreditation. Since I'm a technologist at heart, I'll be excited for evaluating and considering all types of technology solutions that we implement at the College of DuPage. Thank you.